Alright, everyone. Welcome back. This is more of a unique video because what I wanted to do was more or less show off my suffering versus the secret boss of. Oh, I say secret, in air quotes there, against the secret boss of Shin Megami Tensei 5. I know it's been a while since I played 3, but here, SMT 5, and it's actually been a minute since I covered or did anything SMT related. And wow, this is what I would probably consider one of the more difficult side quests in the game. Because hey, we're already on hard mode. I do have like all the DLC, as you can see by one of the demons I had on there being Trumpeter, who is unfortunately DLC, and you see the boss that we're going to be taking on today being that it is Shiva. I am doing this on New Game Plus, as you can see by my inflated stats right here, because you do not have the same amount of stat points going in, even at level 99, even when you're distributing all your stats. Each of these demons that I have in my party have pretty much been custom made, with the exception of, let's see, Skahoth, Trumpeter, Metatron, and Shiva. Pretty much everyone else I've either put essences, incenses, or I've just merged them up, with the exception of I could get a few of these, and Tau. Tau is just kind of a demon that I've thrown in there. Not even thrown in there because it's part of the main story and you can't even summon this demon. So Tau's a non-relevant factor. But most of the people were going to be white, because I did do a test run of this. As much as I like Yoshitsune, Yoshitsune is basically like a non-factor in this. This man gets one shot pretty much every single first turn when we start this fight. I have both forms of Nua here, but we're primarily going to be relying on the upgraded form that you find at the beginning of the game. We have the DLC demon Artemis here, with her stats being primarily just focusing on landing Astral Saint Strike and Power Up Punch, kind of there just to, have Power Up Punch. She's going to be a critical, one of our critical damage dealers, and I'm trying to do the same for Yoshitsune. As you see, High Fizz, Fliz, Great Mana, Dragon Eye, Drain Ice. And you could switch out I would say switch out Dragon Eye and Drain Ice and just have it probably Critical Zealot and Murderous Glee as ways. Every other demon's like really not super relevant. Demeter is pretty much last leg of the game. You have to do her side quest all the way through. Adiel, both forms are post game, New Game Plus only. Amanazako, go through your quests, Super Pixie, standard stuff, and just your typical demons. I do have Metatron, Shiva, and Trumpeter as like really heavy hitters, even though Shiva right here is very weak in comparison. Like, look at Trumpeter and their inflated stats, like 136 magic, agility, and luck, all over 100. I'm pretty sure like the max stat for each of these is like 999. So I'm not crazy enough to attempt that on my free time, but if you are, go ahead, hey, have fun. I believe Adiel is probably like one of our more powerful characters, just straight out, the dark form of her being a fallen one, where she has just raw stats on her side. But in comparison to say, look, she has repel physical, the only thing that's not going to really hurt her is freaking fire. And she's just got like some strong dark magic going for her pretty much, even though realistically you don't even want to use it. And another character you could probably look forward to probably seeing in this fight are Cleopatra, who will basically just be kind of like support running as some of our characters do, and Amanazako, who will be running slight support and healing. I need to get rid of Mazio Barian and Mediharam, but I'm keeping Luster Candy, because she's really just here for damage and not much else, unfortunately. But hey, you might see these and like, hey, what could possibly go wrong, right? And I really do like SMT5. I know a lot of people probably don't like it to the same level as some other, but what we're going to be doing, like I said, we're taking on the super boss right here. You can only do this in the last leg of the game. You don't even have to be fully completed. What you realistically just need to do, all you really have to do is this. You just have to get to this last part, beat Vasuki, and that's it. You could challenge him right then and there if you want. I wouldn't suggest challenge him until you, well, beaten the game. Not beaten the game, but built your demons. Like, you see that I have null everything. That's because I beat the one of the other DLC secret bosses that you can get an essence from, and I'll just leave it at that. And my build is so like, alright, hit everything, hit hard, hit fast, I win. And just do damage. I'm not really going to explain how everything works here. I'm going to assume if you're watching this video, you know how SMT5 works. So what we're going to do right now is that we're just going to switch out Nua. We're going to switch her out with Danu. Danu is going to be kind of like someone we're going to run on for support right now. But there is a mysterious entrance. It seems to be connected to a different space. You can sense the presence of a powerful demon just ahead. Will you enter? And this is basically the game saying, like, hey, are you really sure? It's like, you don't want those warnings, like Persona 4, like when you're on the 20th chapter before the Reaper shows up, like, hey, sure you really want to open this? And you can't. So, let us enter the void. I am Shiva, the benevolent god of destruction. Really? Benevolent? You are the Nahubino that felled Vasuki. I was wondering who it could be. What are you doing here? Do you not seek the throne? Well, it matters not. The world will be destroyed along with the rest of the universe anyways. Hear me, Nahubino. Your quarrel over the throne, fighting over the right to rule. But those who create the world by their own conscience will bring about nothing but corruption. The world should not be created by a given being. Rather, it is the beings that should be created by the world. The creator god, Brahma, will return the universe to its rightful form. To that end, I, Shiva, will commence destruction for the sake of creation. And I shall do so with my secret art, the Rudra Astra.
Yes.
I have nothing more to say. You may go. So Shiva aims to destroy the world after all. I would propose that we take down Shiva, but I detect a Vama Makatsuki that I've never seen in the other demons we have encountered.
Young man.
Are you prepared to fight? And yeah, that's my name at this point, I don't give a shit. And this is basically like your real last chance, like, hey, we accept a Universe F peril. And it's like, do you really want to? Because he is a secret boss, and I do stress that air quotes. But yeah, we're here to take down Shiva. We accepted the quest. Are our lives in peril?
You dare challenge me, fool?
You could have walked away with your life. Oh boy. Very well. I finished preparations. I have enough Makatsuki for Rudra. Next is the banquet. Come, show me your Kali in battle. Oh god, that was so horrible. And listen to this music. I'm just gonna let it rock for a little bit. Hold up. Oh, it's so good. Alright, so in battle, it's basically the press turn sailing from Shin Megami Tensei 3. The more hits you land that strike an enemy's weakness or you gain a critical, basically the luckier you are going to be fighting it. But Shiva, as the base game's secret boss and hardest boss, and I do mean hardest boss, is the most difficult. So first off, let's check our options, and you can see Shiva is level 96. And you can check his stats right now. 110 strength, 40 vitality, 140 magic, and look at all that. You don't know their HP because they're inflated stats anyways, but good lord, this man hits hard. And he has Tandava, which is his most powerful attack, and Dragon Eye, which greatly increases accuracy. So he's going to hit hard, hit fast, and make sure you basically can never avoid this unless his accuracy and evasion's all the way low, and yours is all the way high. But we are going to be doing this, and as you saw, one of his weaknesses is Ice Magic. So Barbarian, and we're going to be doing damage, and I'll probably let the animations rock once or twice, but if we see the same animations over and over and over, I'm just going to eventually skip them. So we're not going to go for attack right now, we're really going to put in Debilitate to weaken him. We're going to buff our stats with Luster Candy so that we can gain the inflated stats to survive. and we are going to use Impaler's Animus
The moon's grace.
because Shiva resists physical. He resists physical, and he will pretty much just no-scope any single attack you throw out here at his way. So we're gonna hit him with another debilitate, and therefore his attack, defense, evasion is all the way low. We have some boosted stats because he will always use this attack. Tandawa is the attack he will always use when he has no allies on the field. Because guess what? And here's the thing: does this man hit? Look at the damage this throws out. It brings your defense all the way to the minimum, meaning you will always be brought down. And with Dragon Eye, this man will pretty much nail this attack every single turn. So what we're going to do is we're pretty much not going to focus on that one. We're going to focus on the War God Ganesha, because the War God Ganesha resists wind, and when we get Nua out here, Nua won't be able to use her most powerful attack to get rid of and lower the attack and defense of Shiva. If you're wondering why I call him Shiva instead of Shiva, that's because that's how it's pronounced by everyone except for Amanazako. Amanazako calls him Shiva, but everyone else calls him Shiva, because that's pretty much how it's pronounced, because it's an I instead of an E. Anyways, we're going to use Matriarch's Love to get rid of the debuffs that we have on us. And that will restore a good portion of our health. Not to max, but obviously we're not going for max. Astral Saint Strike is 15 weak physical attacks to random foes. Now that doesn't sound like very much, but it stacks up very quickly, as you're about to see with these attacks.
Astral Saint Strike. Arrow!
As you see, did quite a bit of damage. See, Ganesha's already almost taken down. We're going to use one more Narukami, a Chad Narukami coming in and taking out. Oh, you motherfucker. How? That does not happen often, I will tell you that. It doesn't happen often that the enemies will dodge attacks. But, yeah, Yoshitsune not doing much, like I said. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to bring in here. We're going to bring in Nua, because Nua is a character that we're going to rely on to essentially continually weaken our opponents. What we're going to do is we're going to hope that Narukami kills Ganesha this time and he doesn't freaking dodge. There we go. And we go with this. We're going to go with Matriarch's Love. We're going to skip the animation so we know we got our buffs going. And I'm going to pass on... No, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to use Impaler's Artemis, so that way we can get our attack going high and higher. And we're not going to change because Yoshitsune, I was hoping on using his unique attack, but unfortunately we didn't get it to come out. We're going to use Barbarian on Shiva and deal damage. And what we're going to use here is Sacrifice of Blade. This is a heavy force attack. It's not her strongest, but the reason why it's so good is because it lowers the target's attack and defense for 3 turns. So we use that. And it's going to do neutral damage to Shiva, but the fact that he has less attack and defense is good. So, and it does do a lot. And we do get damage done on Kali. The thing is, Magavarion, this is going to hurt. I think it's super effective on Artemis because, you know, Artemis dodges the moon and all that. She also has ice, magic, goddess of hunt, moon, but she's also very weak to ice. So the trick is you always kind of want one enemy here on the field with Shiva at times because that'll prevent him from using Tandawa and thus giving you a bit more turns to deal damage to him and just do it. Now with the status symbol that we have on Nua, she's going to miss most of her attacks, so we're just going to go and pass. And passing does give you an extra press turn, unlike in other games where if you pass, I'm specifically talking 3, if you pass while you have a bonus up for your Dragon Eye, it just uses it. I say Dragon Eye, but what we're going to do is we're going to use Matriarch's Love again, and we're going to get rid of our debuffs. And what we're going to do is we're going to go for another Astral Saint Strike, and this probably will take out Kali. And yep, because it just will do neutral pretty much to Shiva. So we're going to do Varion. And what we're going to do is pretty much guard with everyone else because we don't have defense up. Actually, no. What we're going to do is that we're going to concentrate here. What we're going to do is we're going to boost our stats with Luster Candy, which is, if you want a comparison to Persona, it's Heat Riser. Here it's just Luster Candy. And we're going to guard with Artemis, even though we have the ability to survive. It's just going to do some damage. We're going to see Shiva use Tandava again. And you see it does damage. It hurts a lot. But when you have inflated stats via Luster Candy or using any of the other skills, it does do significantly less. But what we're going to do is we're going to use the Omagatoki critical, which we use our Makatsuhi gauge to basically turn all our hits into critical hits. To be honest, I really don't use any of the other ones. So we're going to use Murakumo, and if you want a comparison on that day, it's basically the Freikugel to, it's the Freikugel to Demi-Fiend. It's what Freikugel is to Demi-Fiend. So Murakumo does more damage when it's a critical hit, and versus when it's not a critical hit. So, BAM! 1986. Quite a bit of damage. So we're going to use Sacrifice of Clay again, because every single hit, when you use the critical version, guess what? It's a critical hit. So what we're going to do, we're going to use it again. Bam, 2 crits. And we're going to use Energy Drain, because that will not only give us more attacks going, but it will drain some HP and MP from Shiva. And that way we will be doing some extra damage. We'll be using Astral Sync Strike, because even though Shiva resists physical, this will do damage to him. And we will probably get away with using Nope. So what we did was very dumb. We shouldn't have gone and used something like this. But you know what? We're already in the water. We're in the sauce. I might as well just do it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some of our items to get rid of our negative traits. Dispel Charm, which debuffs all the negative status effects that we have. So now we no longer have the worst stats in the world. We're going to hit again with this, the Luster Candy, and then we're going to hit it again, a B Chain, which is going to heal everyone to max HP, which we really didn't use. I mainly used it for Artemis and a few of the other characters, but here goes Shiva hitting this again. And that's the reason why I say you want to have at least one ally on the field every single time you fight this guy. So here we go. The new enemy that just popped up, because he will actually add a new enemy later on in the fight, being an Anata. When he gets around about this much, even though that's about like 20% health, Anata resists ice, electricity, and light. But they are weak to force and darkness. So we're going to use force attacks to just gain extra edge, because you do not want Anata on the field, because Anata is a healer. And I hate healers. Like, it's always bad when an enemy has a healer, but it's always good when you have one. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and get as many press turns as we can, but as you saw, Ganesha decided to be bastard and dodge again. I have no idea what's up with this Ganesha every single time, but this Ganesha has just been a god in terms of dodging. This has not happened in any of my other runs. Ganesha was like usually the first one to die per run. But as you see, 3 of us block electricity, and it makes sense like why Artemis blocks electricity the most. But you see there, if you nullify an attack, you just make your enemy lose 2 press turns in the same way if you dodge. However, if you absorb an attack, I believe that just ends your turn period. So, I would show it off, but I'm not going to. So we're going to get rid of Anata, because Anata is really the problem character here. We're going to now focus on Ganesha and try to hopefully get rid of his stats. Or their stats, I don't know. We're going to power up, heal, and we are going to use Imperialist Animus, because Imperialist Animus is what allows us to get multiple critical strikes on Shiva, and versus like any of the other characters. So we're going to use it again here. Get rid of Ganesha. We're going to power up our stats with Luster Candy. And we're just going to pass our turn with Artemis, because I really don't want to risk anything else happening. Because Shiva doesn't call allies when he's the only one on the field, but he does like his almighty attacks, Callie is an enemy that does like to use all her abilities in debuffing you as a character. So what we're going to do is that we're just going to focus again on dealing damage to Shiva. Shiva is the problem character, as he is the boss. But once he goes down hard, and you really don't have to worry about it. The problem is, I believe Danu is running out of MP, and I want to, here, we'll check our stats. And Danu's skill, Matriarch's Love, takes 83. Okay, no, we're good. She has 83, she has 11 to her stats. So what we're going to use is Sacrifice Clay, lower the stats down, because we haven't lowered his stats in a while. I just saw he didn't have any stats, so we're going to use it. We're going to use Matriarch's Love, we're going to get rid of all the negative stats effects, and our defense goes up. I completely forgot that it raises defense, and it just doesn't, unless I just haven't been noticing it, but whatever. We're going to use the Astral Saint Strike on him, and oh, we got a crit. We're going to use Barbarian, and now we are going to be basically doing setup now. Concentrate. We are going to just drain, because we can't do anything with Danu other than drain or guard, and I prefer if we did one of those two. I'm going to go for a Paler's Animus again and be prepared for next turn, because I want next turn to be one where we do a lot of damage. But he's going to use Tandaval again, and like I said, Tandaval does damage! God dang! But as you see, once you get Shiva about 20% health, he starts summoning Anata in pretty much every single portion when he does this. But again, we're going to go for a Makasumi, Omagataki critical. I probably pronounced that wrong because I... Omagatoki critical. There. We're going to go for Murakuma again, do damage. And we are just going to try to do as much damage as possible to everyone. As you see, bam, 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 just take out everyone. No one survived in this round. We're gonna go for another Matriarch's Love, heal us all up. Yeah, I was probably tripping when I was like, oh yeah, whoa. I was tripping when I saw, like, oh yeah, it raises defense. Like, no, it doesn't. Now, we're gonna use Astral Saint Strike. See, this is why you have Artemis and you build her as a crit machine, because she can annihilate the field. But the problem is, it also makes it to where it's a lot more dangerous to use certain skills. But instead of trying to set up again, we're going to use her Chakra Pod, give it to Danu, and that way she can set up another Luster Candy, because she's a support character, in fact that her Luster Candy only takes 89 instead of 150 like you saw with Amazaku, who had no support. Anyways, buff up her defense, we can at least take a hit next turn. Because remember, this guy has Dragon Eye, meaning unless his accuracy is all the way low and your evasion is all the way high, he's basically never gonna miss Tandaval or any of his attacks. But that's why you go for the second turn, like, alright, we're gonna do setup. And Tandaval again, and you see, does damage. But so far we're doing good. I did another run earlier where, good lord, like, it was just like bad luck after bad luck. Like, he summoned in allies, he got rid of my whole squad, everything. Like I said, you want to get rid of Ganesha, you also want to get rid of Anata, because Anata is the one who also heals, whereas Ganesha is just a problem because he stops Yua's sacrifice of clay. And here we just heal up, like we always do. Astral Saint Strike, and we took care of it, so that's good. So now we can take on dealing more damage to Shiva. And we are just going to use Sacrifice Clay. And as you see, we're just trying to do as much as we can in a little bit of time. We're going to use Energy Drain, take some of Anata's energy, so that we can just keep draining. And here I'm going to use Power Punch on Ananta, instead of going for my typical Impaler's Animus, because I don't want Ananta to heal, because I had him heal Shiva for like 22,000 HP, and I hated it so much because that basically reset the fight and made it go way longer than it's supposed to. As you see, you kind of want Kali on the field because, or Kali. I say Kali, but it's probably Kali. You want Kali on the field because she basically focuses on debuffing you and using stats, because you can look at this version of her, it's more support based than anything else because she has no. It is support based because she has no attacking skills, which is really dumb now that I think about it. Why not make one of the other support demons that he calls in support and make Kali a brutal attacker? Because look at her attack. But like most bosses and enemies that you fight in any JRPG ever, specifically, now that I think about it, Atlas games, they do not like giving you like HP values at all. But instead of going for sacrificing clay, we're going to go for killing wind because it does more damage. I say more damage, but I didn't really do anything there. We're going to drain, and we are going to pass. We're going to go for maximum damage and attacking Shiva. We are going to concentrate with Nua. And we are going to heal with Danu and give Matriarch's love. To the very least, we can survive a few attacks. I.e., she can survive a few attacks. And Akashic Heart, I think that's dead Danu. Or barely. Masakunda, we have our accuracy and evasion down, which is not good. Ooh, this is bad. When they gather Makatsuki, they basically all they have is the critical attacks. That's all they have. So what we're going to do is we're going to switch Danu out. Because even though Danu has higher vitality, we're going to go into Ainu. Yes, that Ainu, who has some of the best animations in the entire game because they decided to make Ainu basically a pop star in this version. So what you want to do, instead of giving him 3 attacks, we're just going to go in with the damage. We're just going to try to get rid of Kali. Because even though you don't want to do this, he's going to call in allies, and they won't gather Makatsuki. But you want to use Golden Apple. I'll let the animation play next time. But Golden Apple has a moderate heal, and it has a heat riser. So what we're going to do is we're going to use Pierre's Animus, and we're just going to kind of like go in terms of damage for what we do. Like, I wanted to use Yoshitsune, but Yoshitsune just kind of broke right at the beginning, so we can't really do anything about that. We're going to go concentrate, power up, and even though we don't necessarily need to heal, the thing is, Tandava is going to be a crit, like no matter what. So I could go for the extra defense, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to guard with Ainu, because Ainu's a healer. Yeah, even though she takes extra damage from electricity, he's not going to do electricity. Shiva is programmed to use... yeah, there's the animation for Ainu, who basically becomes a pop star and a combination of Red Riding Hood. But we're going to guard because she heals us. And you're just gonna see the damage that Tom does. Oh, that is not good. Please don't do anything else. Oh, he calls allies. And are you gonna use Tandava now, or is it going to? And there goes Nua, one of our damage dealers. But this allows us to bring out some of our other characters to let go. Alice is just very, very inclined towards dark damage, which is what we're going to do. But we're going to bring in Amanazako as one of our next damage dealers because Amanazako hits hard and she can put in damage. Hopefully. That's why I say hopefully because there's no guarantee that we're going to like survive this fight. We're going to go with Negative 1 for her. And we're not going to guard, we're going to go for the golden apples. And I forgot to let the animation play again, but what we're going to do is we're going to go for Astral Saint Strike, and I actually thought we would take out one of them, but then again, I think it's just spread out so much that it really didn't matter. We're going to go for Ananta, because we really don't want Ananta to heal. Ananta will heal, and he heals a lot. So he's going to go for the Gold Line, do a lot of damage to everyone. So since we blocked this, and Ainu was charmed, Bahamon, we block this, 2 of us block it, which is good. What I'm going to do is, we're still just going to get rid of Ananta, and what I'm going to have Amanazako do is I'm going to have her use an item, Amrita Soda, and cure Ainu of her status condition, because since she was charmed, she will sometimes ignore your abilities and just straight up heal the enemy, attack you. So you don't want that. So now we'll just let the golden apple animation play right now.
This one's for you. Here.
And bam. All our stats increase. We're gonna go for another Peerless Animus. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to charge. What I'm going to do is I'm going to attack Parvati, because Parvati, I believe, is another hero. We don't want healers. No healers are allowed here except for mine. It's a good thing when you have healers. It's a bad thing when the boss has healers. No, we're just gonna hit it with another Megadolon, and that was a terrible idea because we took out the other enemy. He hits us with another Tandava, and that just brings our stats lower. And he calls in more allies, thus bringing in another Ananta, Kali, and Ganesha. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit the Amagatoki critical. And as you know, like, I believe the Magatsuhi gaze is just really increases every time you do damage. I believe it increases a lot though when you're doing like criticals or you're hitting the enemy's weakness. But we're going to go for the Murakumo, and we're going to do it on Shiva and Senbon for Ananta. Because here's the thing, Monzaku is just going to hit everyone and make it go on. And it's just going to do a lot of damage, and we did do a lot. We're going to heal up with Golden Apple. And we're gonna have Artemis just do massive damage by hitting everyone with the Astral Saint Strike. And there, we took out Kali, even though Kali's kind of like the one we want. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna hit the Surge! No. We're going to no, more Kumo. On Shiva, because we just want damage. That's all we really want. We're going to energy drain the Ananta, drain out its HP and MP, giving us more stats. We're going to heal. I say more stats, right? I mean it's more MP or magic points, whatever the hell you want to call it. We're going to set up the Healer's Animus, so that way we will do more damage. And we're just leaving Ganesha on the field, even though I really don't want him, because he's a damage healer. Oh, jeez, that's a lot. And there goes Killon, but the good thing is Monozako has it. There goes I did. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring in another healer, in this form Demeter, and she's going to be a healer for now because we can't really rely on anyone doing extra damage, unfortunately. So where we're going to go now is that we are going to do we're just going to try and target Shiva, because Shiva is just doing damage now because we can't lower his attack and defense anymore. We're going to use the Eleusinian Harvest, which is her special ability, which is basically like Mediharam, but it heals you above your max HP. So we'll let this animation rock right now.
It's finally here. Let the harvest begin.
And bam, it just raises your HP to ridiculous levels. But we're not going to hit Ganesha. We're going to go for Shiva and hit the Power Punch. And 2146 is very good damage, but Aka shift parts. Oh god, he got the crit and that killed it. Macho Luna, oh no, our attack goes down. He has Impaler's Animus now, no! This is going wrong, this is going very, very wrong. But, like, yeah, you can see, like, this fight can really drain on your resources. So we're gonna use Marion, hit damage, and as you can see, like, we're really not doing anything now. What we need to do is, like, we start into getting our other allies back in. So what I'm going to use, I'm gonna use a Bomb of Life on Nuwa.
Here you go.
Heal her, Nuwa's resurrected. And what we're going to do is we're just going to pass, and we're gonna switch Amada Zako. Actually, ooh, no, we can't. So what we're going to do, I can't even use this because we ran out of MP. Which is really a good thing, like you kind of stock up on items. Like, it's like, oh yeah, I stocked up on everything. So we're going to use an Elect Gem and get rid of the nation. And what we're going to do, like, is we're going to switch out Amada Zako to our Nuwa. We're going to heal past our max HP. And just make sure we try to survive is the thing, because right now I believe he will just bypass everything. Like, he's not going to be doing moves that just hit everyone because he's programmed to use Tando. So what we're going to do is then we're going to use a Soma drop. Even though we're at max HP, we're going to use a Soma drop so that way we can have full MP as well. So this is just oh no. Oh good lord, and that takes out the meter, he has that. But he called in allies, which is not good. So what we're going to do is something kind of cool. We're going to use Eternal Prayer. This will give full HP recovery to everyone in our party, including every knocked out character. So we're going to use that. I probably should have let the animation rock, but it just drops like water, and he just does like the generic power up pose. And it doesn't waste a turn. So what we're going to do is that we're going to do that. We're going to change back into Yoshitsune, because I want Yoshitsune to do damage, man. But the problem is we can't, because it's a dumb move. What we're going to do is we're going to bring in...
Your turn! Go!
We're going to bring in Idun, because Idun powers us up. Even though, like, yeah, it's dumb, like, hey, you should be using stuff to... Instead of wasting MP on healing, you should be probably using it on Luster Candy. We don't have a lot of characters that use Luster Candy. But we're going to use Sacrifice Flame, lower everyone's stats, get an extra turn. We're going to heal up with Golden Apple and raise our stats. We're going to pass with Artemis because Artemis will not be getting critical, I believe. Even though she most likely will. What we're going to do is we're going to try and take out... You know what? No. We're going to take out Parvati because I believe Parvati is the one who has healing skills. No, she does not. Surprisingly. Look, here's the thing. You would think she would be the healer. Look at this. Look at her stats. She has plus 40 healing. You think she would be the healer and not Ananta, who isn't a healer. Like, I feel like they programmed that weird, like, Parvati should have been the healer and Ananta should have been the healer. But no, they swapped it around where she's support, but not very good support. But she does have Decuna, which I believe, like, get rid of our status conditions or their on all eyes, negative status buffs. So we can't have that. We need them to be in constant debuff state. Because you saw when Shiva has damage, he does a lot of damage. So we're gonna do that, gain the extra turn, and just do damage to it. We couldn't take out Anata, and probably gonna hit us. Hopefully not. But since two of us block it, it missed. And Matsukage, and they raise their accuracy and evasion, which isn't good, but it's not something we can't handle. We're just gonna take out Anata. There, no more healing for them. What we're going to do is we're going to use a Dispel Charm and get rid of all their stat buffs. Or Purge Charm. Like, no buffs. Like, you're not having evasion. No, we're not having that. I don't have Decuna by default, which I probably should on Support Demon. But I kind of like just want to do this on demons I like. That's the whole point of me kind of doing this. Like, alright, I'm using demons I like, even though Yoshitsune got freaking curb stomped when he started. He's been like one of my favorite demons throughout like my secondary playthrough here. It's just like, oh wow, he got curb stomped hard. Even though yes, it's dumb, I'm going to use another Soma, but I'm going to use it on Idun because Idun's a healer. She has a lot of freaking MP, as you can see. Golan doesn't do as much as his Tanjima, as you know. And Mantra Kuja. And what do we do? Oh, god damn it. Alright, they start getting Magatsuhi again. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna go for Shiva. Shiva needs to die, but the thing is, we are not going to have enough power to take him out. Is the thing, unfortunately. So we're just gonna use Sacrifice Play, make sure his defense stays low. We need to make sure we can survive, so I'm just gonna keep using Golden Apples. Even though it kind of is dumb, but we're gonna use an Astral Sync Strike. Take out that. We take out the other demon whose name I don't know. Hit it with another Barion. And what we're going to do is we're just going to concentrate because Nilla can take the hit. She can take a hit. Idun cannot take a hit, so we're just going to guard with her. And the thing about Artemis is that she has Enduring Soul, so she can survive an attack. So, since we guarded, we got away with it. He's going to call for allies, and I believe he'll attack again with another Megiddo. And everyone survived, because like I said, Nuwa can take a hit in this war. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go for another critical, because guess what? This just does damage, so we're good here. So we're going to go with Murakumo, and hit it with another one. Just let this animation rock, because it's actually just so cool to see some of these animations just, you know, whack the frig out and do the damage. we're gonna hit Ganesha with another Narukami, take it out in a single hit, which is good in my part, in my opinion. I say it's good on my part, like I did with it. We're gonna hopefully take out Anata. We're gonna put it on the verge of death. Just use another Taylor's Artemis, and we're gonna need to heal up Artemis's damage as well. We're just gonna do damage to Shiva. Shiva is the problem character. And we're gonna use Sacrifice of Clay. There we go. And we take it out. We're going to use another Golden Apple. Heal everyone back up. And I'm going to use another Soma, even though it's like, oh, you should be using other Somas. I really don't care. Because, like, there's really only one other boss that we really are gonna hate fighting. I will show you off because it's the DLC boss. And if you've seen Trumpeter, you probably understand who it is. But he's gonna finish with another Magnola. Doesn't do as much because he's been weakened. It's gonna use Fogna, Kali, use Fogna. And here's the thing, we're really not worried about item because item's here just for support. So we're gonna use Varion, do more damage to Shiva. And we're going to use Concentrate. We're not really gonna focus on doing damage because we want Kali alive, at least for a little bit. Heal up. And here we go. Here, hit us with another Astral Sync Strike. Let the animation rock because I like it, you know. Oh, we only got 2 crits out of those. And we're gonna hit you with another Varion. Look at that, Shiva's almost dead. Let's freaking go. We're gonna use Sacrifice of Clay, do damage. Took out Kali. And you know what? We can't even use Golden Apple because we're at full health. I would heal, but I want to guard so we can prevent as much damage as possible coming to Idun. We're just gonna let this last time the ball rock. As you can see, Shiva is wearing down. This absolute juggernaut of a god of destruction is starting to fall. And I really just want to end it on Murakumo. So let's see, will this be the final Murakumo? Let us find out. Let's go! Bring it down! Yo, let's freaking go! And bam! Take out Shiva. Look at the massive amount of Maka we get, and the fact we get a crap ton of experience. Our Super Pixie leveled up, our Mermaid leveled up. In all honesty, if Mermaid was like level 99, I probably would bring her in to do damage. We have Black Frost here who could have helped, but look at its level. We also have Tao here who realistically is not going to do anything in pretty much any of the fights that we have. Even in the DLC fight, I might bring her to. She's not really gonna do anything. Again, all this was really proving is that this fight is truly the most difficult fight in the base game.
Indeed.
This is the most difficult fight in the base game, but that was a splendid dance. You have defeated me. I shall now disappear from this universe. But the Rudra can appear in many forms. Overcome them all and break free. That is the path of the true ruler. And with that, Shiva dies essentially. Because the only way you know if a character dies is if they disperse into Makatsuri. And you complete the quest, a universe in peril. And you get 3 Gospels, which I believe is what you need to level up. You know, bring you up to like the max, like 1 HP, 1 experience point away from leveling up. You get 3 Gospels and bam, like it's just so much. And then we get another level up for Pixie. And she just got another skill in Resist Ice. We really don't need it, even though these aren't the skills I want on her. Like, I say I want on her, I want to get Floral Gust, which is a strong version of Wind Breath. Energy Drains is kind of there, just, you know, gain some HP and MP. Summer Calm. I'm just trying to build a Mega Pixie. I'll probably have like the Ultimate Pixie. Like I have a picture of one in Persona 5 Royal of what the Ultra Pixie is, and basically is the second strongest Persona I have in terms of what I like to use. But we're just gonna get rid of resist ice because we really don't need it. And then bam, Shiva is done for. But with that, everyone, my name is Megazero. I really just wanted to show this fight off. If you want more SMT5, that might come back in the future. But right now, just know because we have so many games to go through, we have basically like four playthroughs going. We have 3 playthroughs going on with Pokemon, with Borderlands 2, and with what else? What else do we? Pokemon, Borderlands 2, and Final Fantasy 7. Final Fantasy 7 is going to be a finish first, then we'll probably head back to those other 2 before I do another one, or I might just have Fire Emblem 3 Houses, like an episode kind of like in between like the other episode. But like I say, everyone, my name is Omega Zero. I will catch you guys later.